Hey guys, Corrie here with a new scrapbook process video for you. It is Mixed Media Monday over at HipKit, and so that was the assignment that I had. And I'm using the February 2020 HipKits, and I wanted to use, so since it's Mixed Media Monday, I decided obviously I needed to use my color kit. That would work really nice. And I'm going to use, in the color kit came this Nouveau Establishment Mousse. I had no idea what this was, and then also the cool stencils. So I had practiced this already, which is why I've got purple on there, and you'll see what I'm doing. So what I did was I just kind of put it on top of the stencil, but I didn't like smooth it in really, really good. So I wanted it to kind of be built up a little bit on top of the stencil. Scrape off what comes through, but then I'm going to flip it over and actually use the stencil then. So it's like the opposite of what you would do if you like just put it straight on the paper. Does that make sense? And I loved it because it came out like this kind of wonky thing. I didn't press it real hard, obviously, in the one stripe, but like, so I did that, and that's how I got like this cool, funky design on the background. And I love the way it came out. I think it came out really cool. So, just a different way to try and play with it, to use the stencil in, instead of using the cutout space as the design, but to use the actual part that's still there as the design. It was just a matter of leaving it a little thicker. So then I did want to also get a little bit of color on this page as well, besides just the purple, because the photos that I'm using, okay, it's a little bit of a stretch of the matching, but there's like this one little piece of pavement that looks kind of like that purple, but she's wearing like yellow in it. My daughter's wearing yellow in the pictures, and so I feel like the purple might be a little bit of a stretch, so I wanted to incorporate some of the yellow and then also some pink, to kind of just get all of these colors to work a little bit better. So I am using some yellow of the Lindy's Stamp Gang, like the magical whatever this stuff is, powder stuff, but it just came in a prior hip kit, a different color kit. And then I'm also using the pink one that came with the February kit. So that was the raspberry lemonade color. So I'm just mixing that with some yellow to get some varying shades of yellow to pink on the background of the page. So I figured it was just a good way to get a little extra color on the page. You always put a little extra water in it, and that helps like kind of water it down as well. But, so then I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, it didn't really have enough. So I did make sure that it was all dry, so I didn't smudge any of that mousse stuff, because I didn't want that to happen. And so then I'm just going to use the packaging technique with a piece of packaging, of some stuff that I had, and just to get a little bit of the extra color on without it just being drops. Like I just wanted the color on the page. So that was just a really great way to do it. So once that is all dry, then I can start going. So here are my photos that I'm using. This is of my middle daughter, and her and I did a fun trip to Utah in November. So we went actually over her birthday, and a lot of people, when we were only there for 2 days, and a lot of people, it was so funny. We stayed in Salt Lake City, so of course we like met all these people, and we were like talking to them and everything, and they're like, well, what are you here? Like, where are you from? And we're like, oh, we're from Georgia. And they're like, well, what are you doing here in Utah? Because there was no snow on the ground or anything at that point, so obviously we weren't there to ski. But we were like, well, we actually came, partly to do some shopping. And they're like, shopping? Why? Well, it just so happens that my daughter's 3 favorite stores are all in Utah. So those would be Ruli, Called to Surf, and Albion Fit. And I know Albion Fit actually has some other locations. One of them actually is really near my parents' house in Texas, which is cool. But that one was just kind of the bonus. So like Ruli and Called to Surf, it's not like that they're in Salt Lake City, but they were a close enough drive that we drove up to Ruli one day and then drove back through Salt Lake City and went all the way down to Called to Surf, and then we came back up into Salt Lake City. Now, I was like, shoot, I am in Salt Lake City. I was so excited about being in Utah. Like, I'd never been there. She'd never been there. We're there just like exploring. We had some stuff going on, whatever. We just had such a great time. Like, checked out the food scene, like, walked all around the city. It it was so cool. But I was like, you know what? I'm in Utah. I'm going to find a scrapbook store. Okay. Like, she's like, fine, whatever, if you want to find a scrapbook store. So, like, I'll be honest, I didn't like really put a lot of work into finding out where like I should be going, or if there was some place like out of Salt Lake City that I should have gone to or whatever. I just like kind of Googled some, they said they were like the biggest scrapbook stores, whatever. I don't know. I was like so excited because like there's none of that stuff here anymore. I mean, like, I think that there's one scrapbook store, but it's like an hour and a half from my house. Like, I never go that way. And so I was like so pumped. I'm like, I am in the land of scrapbooking. Certainly I will find all the good things, right? I was ready to shop. And I'll tell you what, I was so disappointed. Like, honestly, Michael's was better than wherever I like wound up. So, I guess it's just a matter of like having to do things online now. And in all fairness, I probably was like nowhere near where I needed to be. I probably should have like, been shopping. I don't know. I should have put more effort into it, but I guess I had put so much effort into figuring out how to get to all these like clothing stores and whatever. So there you go. My scrapbooking adventure was a bust, but the shopping adventure and the other things that we did while we were there were not a bust. They were actually super fantastic. We had so much fun. The food was awesome. We had great food. Like every morning we went and found some great little place for something for breakfast. We had some of the best coffee. I just drink black coffee, but like some of seriously the best coffee I've ever had before in Salt Lake City. Oh my gosh, it was so good. Like I should have bought like a bunch of beans or something, but I don't even know if this place like sold beans. I should have asked. I don't know, but it was fantastic. I think the restaurant was called Hub and Spoke, maybe? I don't know, but the coffee there was so fantastic. But anyhow, and then the shopping was unbelievable, like so much fun. It was so fun. Like, of course we have the access to online, but it was just so much fun for her to try on all kinds of different stuff. She ended up buying a couple things that we probably wouldn't have gotten had she only looked at them online. A couple of dresses where I was like, here, just try this on. It looks really cute. And she kind of gave me this look like, really, Mom? And then she put it on and it was like the cutest thing in the entire world on her. So we just had a great time in Salt Lake City, and I'm really excited that we were able to do this together. So, anyhow, that's my whole story about that. Sorry I didn't explain how I was doing this page at all. I hope that doesn't bother you. I hope you've been watching along and listening to me ramble, and it's been okay. You've been able to follow my process. So anyhow, my journaling obviously was just about doing this with her. And then when we got back from Salt Lake City, she was 16. She got to take her driver's test, passed. Yay. She got another fun weekend the next weekend to do some stuff. I mean, it was just all around. It was like a good couple of weeks for her. So, well, and for me too. So anyhow, I'm just getting all of these. Sorry about my phone like going off. I don't know why it is. I apologize for that. And so anyhow, I'm just finishing up this whole page now that I have rambled your ears off with some enamel dots. And then guys, my page is finished. So here it is. And then a couple of close-ups. Again, I used the February 2020 hip kits. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I didn't bore you to tears with not talking about the page. I hope you were able to still follow along. But again, you guys, thanks so much for watching and thanks for stopping by.